drive with faster access time when we're dealing with a faster processor as well. So as you can see, the B300 is noticeably faster. And again, this is due to the 8286 microprocessor running at 10 megahertz and a 20 megabyte hard drive. The B300 has all of the features of the plus 10 megahertz 8286 CPU microprocessor, which means it is AT compatible and high speed. An 8287 coprocessor socket, RAM expandable to 1.5 megabyte on board, a 20 megabyte hard drive, 1.44 megabyte 3.5-inch floppy disk drive, MS-DOS 3.3, and GW Basic 3.22. As you can see, in the Bondwell products, Sears is offering a good, better, best selection. For the price-conscious consumer, the B200 is a choice with its compact size and 8-pound weight, an exceptional value. For the consumer who wants more, the BW-AT is the choice. And finally, for the consumer who wants it all, there's the B300. And that's the Bondwell presentation for today. Thank you. Jim.
Thank you, Dave. That was a very informative presentation. Let me review the pricing for just a second on the line of Bondwell laptop computers, okay? The B200 32275 is $999.99 with a suggested manufacturer retail price of $1299.99. So that's a real value for our customers. The 8T, the 32272, is priced at Sears at $1377.77. And that's got a $1599 suggested manufacturer retail. And the new B300 is priced at $2395 with a suggested manufacturer retail price of $29.99. That's a $3,000 laptop for $23.95. Okay. The B300 has just become available. It's shipping to the RRCs right now. As soon as it's available, it can be ordered and put into your stores, in the larger stores where you have the AT customer. Okay. Now I'd like to turn it over to Mike Strange from Franklin Computer, who's going to cover the exciting Franklin Spelling Ace. Mike, let's hear about Franklin.
Thank you very much, Jim. It's my pleasure to be here today. And before I start my presentation, I would like to thank Sears for being our customer. We appreciate your business. Sears has been with Franklin since we invented the Speller line handheld reference product category some 4 years ago. What I'm going to be doing today is taking you on a little tour of the various products that are sold by Sears and produced by Franklin. Depending on the size of your store, you may have as many as 8 of these products or as few as 4. However, in any case, all stores carry the Franklin Elementary Spelling Ace, the ES90. And that's the product that we're going to leave to last to talk about with a slightly more in-depth discussion of its function and its use. First, let's start our tour with the beginning of the line with the Spelling Ace offering. Both the Pocket, which is the PS104, and the 100 XL. These are both basic spellers which incorporate 80,000 words from the Merriam-Webster dictionary. Merriam-Webster is the most recognized and authoritative source of language in America. The Pocket calculator, the PS104, has an alpha keyboard and will fit in your pocket or in your purse. The slightly larger 100 XL has the same database, but has a QWERTY, or computer, keyboard layout, typewriter style. More convenient for those who are familiar with and have used computers or typewriters on a daily basis. Both products have the same database from Merriam-Webster, both do full phonetic spell correction, and in addition play approximately 15 different word games, including Hangman, Anagrams, Word Jumble, and Scrabble. These are the two basic speller products. When we move up the line to the next two, we have the Thoris-based products. These two products include the WM1000, which is a full thesaurus, and it contains almost 500,000 synonyms. In addition, it contains approximately 75,000 definitions to help in the aid of the selection of the proper synonym for a particular application in your writing. Next to the WM1000 is a pocket version, and this is called the WM1200. The pocket version of the WM1000 contains all the features and functions of the WM1000, except it is smaller. And of course, it has an alpha keyboard as opposed to the QWERTY. All of the 500,000 synonyms, the 75,000 definitions, the 80,000 words that can be phonetically spelled are all present. And that represents a combination speller and thesaurus product line, both pocket and tabletop. As we move up the line again, the next two products are both dictionaries. The beginning dictionary is the LM2000, which contains the thesaurus capability and the phonetic spelling of all the previous products, but now it contains over 275,000 definitions to go along with the 80,000 words and the 500,000 synonyms. It is a complete reference source, a Merriam-Webster dictionary and Merriam-Webster thesaurus all in one product. It's also a large multi-line display with easy scrolling. Now the slightly larger, more advanced version of that dictionary next to it is the LM4000. This contains all the features of the previous product, except now we have included speech. This unit actually will pronounce all of the words in their inflected forms, meaning whether they're present tense, past tense, plural, all pronounced by the dictionary. So now, not only do you solve the problem of looking it up when you can't spell it, it also can be pronounced when you look at it and you are not quite sure how you should say it. In addition, this product contains approximately 3,300 special words which are used on scholastic aptitude tests. So it is a very good educational product for children in high school. In addition, the product has function keys at the top to make it easy to select the various capabilities of the product. And these include games in various forms that can use the SAT words as well as any of the words that can be randomly chosen by the computer or by you in the dictionary. The last product in this grouping is the Bible. It is the complete King James Version of the Bible in its totality. We provide the same phonetic ability of entering words that you may not be sure how to spell, as well as looking up phrases by only entering partial phrases or partial words to find that particular passage that you're truly interested in reading. Again, it is a very large display and provides icons for easy use in looking up the various aspects of the Bible, including full concordance that you might be interested in doing. Now, last but certainly not least is the main focus of my presentation, which is the ES90. The ES90 is an elementary speller intended for children between the ages of 6 and 12, although it can be used by children much younger, and in fact is being done so in schools across the country. The ES90 comes packaged in an attractive point of purchase layout. It includes the Merriam-Webster Elementary Dictionary, the Franklin Elementary Speller, 4 alkaline batteries, as well as 2 manuals, a teacher's parent guide, which provides detailed instructions on the function of the product, as well as a kid's guide. And the kid's guide is very graphic and makes it very easy for the child to use the product immediately. Also in your stores, which you all should have in place at this point, is a very large point of purchase 4-color sign which provides all the details on the elementary spelling ace, as well as the giraffe, which is also keyed on the back of the point of purchase product package. What I'm going to do now is just take a few moments to demonstrate the elementary spelling ace, and I'll adjust it so that we can get a good contrast on the camera for seeing the display. And what you would do now is enter a word phonetically, and for example, I'm going to use daisy, and I'll spell it day, Z. Now a child or yourself, you may enter it D-A-Y-S-E-E or slightly different, D-A without the Y, and what happens is the elementary spelling ace will come back with daisy, D-A-I-S-Y. For example, you could spell pneumonia with an N as opposed to the P, and the Franklin speller will come back with the proper spelling, as do all our products. But this particular one has phonetics which have been created for the 6 to 12-year-old group specifically to make it easier for them to spell words. But the important aspect of the product is now if I hit the page button, you'll see instantaneously it says 128. And what that is telling the user is that if they turn to the companion Merriam-Webster dictionary, you will see, and I've taken the liberty of opening this up prior to my presentation, it will give us daisy on page 128. Children are not capable of using dictionaries at an early age, and what this product does is give them the ability to use spellers and to use dictionaries. In addition to utilizing the dictionary and the ability to index, the Franklin speller also plays a series of word games, which again I'll adjust it here so you can see it. It plays flashcards. And importantly, what happens in this mode is you can enter your own words into this product. So a child could put their spelling list, which I'm sure all of you are familiar with if you're a parent, put their weekly words in, and they can play flashcards and get a better understanding and improve their spelling. They can play hangman. They can play user hangman. They can do virtually anything that they wish. The important thing is they can use their spelling words or their own words that they put in, or they can use the words from the Merriam-Webster dictionary. For example, if I hit list, I took the liberty of putting in my daughter's spelling words that she just had, and they included school, river, green, ocean, book, etc. These words then can be used with the various games that are present in the product. With the elementary spelling ace, it opens up a whole new world in terms of consumer products. And it allows us to sell a product which is educational and both fun for the 6 to 12-year-old market. And that concludes my presentation on these particular products. Thank you very much. Jim?
Thank you, Mike. That was an informative presentation. I'd like to get both Mike and David out here and thank them for today's fine presentations. We've given you an awful lot of information today, and I'm sure that you have some questions, and we're ready to take your calls now. The number to call is 312-875-4990. That's 312-875-4990. Remember to press the talk button the entire time you're speaking, or we won't be able to hear you. And be patient with us. If we don't get to your call right away, it's only because we're already answering another question. So please don't hang up. Another thing, when you call in, make sure you give us your name and your store number, just in case we have to get back to you or we're not able to answer your question today. If you give us your name and your store number, we'll be able to get back to you later on. Okay? A couple things while we're waiting for the first call to come in. A number of the products we've talked about here today might not necessarily be in every store. They're in the larger brand central stores, but as you go down from the larger brand central stores, some of the products may not be assorted. In the case of the laptops, the B200 is in all stores, and that's nationally advertised, so that should be in every store. The 8T and the B300 are in the brand central stores, and the B300 is just becoming available right now. We haven't got our first call yet, so don't be afraid to call. David, while we're waiting, behind us here we have the AT hooked up to a monitor. Could you go over some of the reasons that you'd want to have a monitor hooked up to your laptop?
Sure, Jim. When you're using your laptop computer with the LCD, if you're using your computer in your home, you might want to hook up an external monitor to be able to use a full-size display and make it a lot easier to read. Both, or actually all three of our systems, the BW8T, the B200, and the B300 have ports, the CGA port in the back, which will allow you to use an external monitor. The monitor has to be CGA compatible.
Okay. I think we've got our first call coming. Caller, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Could you give us your name and your store number, please?
Yeah, this is Mark from 2683 in Watertown, New York.
Hi, Mark. I think we talked to you last time.
Yep, we did.
Okay. What's the question?
Okay, with the Bondwell, the BW8T, what software comes with that now?
Okay, I'll handle that one, Jim.
Okay. David, you want to handle that?
Sure. The BW8T comes with DOS 3.22, GW Basic 3.22, and Easy 1.5 word processor and dictionary. What that means is that you've got your DOS operating system, and you can just turn around and use your word processing software right out of the box.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
David, while we're waiting for the next call to come in, that's a question we often get about laptops. What's the best, we do have a call that's come in. Okay, caller, can you hear us, please?
Yes. My name is John Greider, store 1181 in Kansas City.
Okay, John, what's your question?
I'm calling about the 8T. We've got our first unit returned on that system because the 1200 baud monitor, the modem, it could not be accessed with 8 different programs that we tried to use on it. And the unit on the floor also does not get set up with those programs. We tried all of the ones that were in the book suggested, as well as Telex, which is a really good program we have that we use on other systems.
Okay, David, maybe you could help him with that question.
Okay. John, I don't know what I can really do for you now other than go ahead and call our technical support number, which is 1-800-288-4660. 4388. I currently have a B300 with the modem, which is the same as the BW8T. I use a program called Support, and when I'm on the road, I communicate back with my company's computer using the modem, and I do not have a problem with it. So it seems to me that you might have a technical problem with either one or both of the computers, or you just might not be doing something in the right way. So I'd go ahead and call a technical support number, which again is 1-800-288-4388.
Okay.
Yeah, we already did that, and we were not given an answer over the phone. They called back with one of those other support people, and we still weren't able to resolve the problem. So,
Okay, I don't think we're going to be able to resolve that problem on the phone here today. We have your name and your store number, and David will call you directly so we can get that question straightened out. Okay, can I have the next caller come in, please? Hello, caller, can we hear us? Okay, make sure you're pushing your button.
Push the button.
Okay, there we go. Now we can hear you. Can I have your store name, store number and your name, please?
Yes, I'm Irene Halpin from Quincy, Illinois.
Okay, Irene, what's your question?
I have a customer who is interested in the 32272 Bondwell computer, and his question to me was, on the literature, it has some facts of NTSC, composite video port. Could you tell me what that is?
Okay, David?
Okay. That was a feature that used to be in the BW8T, and it's no longer a feature that's available on the system. You might have gotten an older piece of literature where it still describes that. There is no NTSC port on the back of either the BW8T or the B300 any longer.
What does that mean?
Oh, NTSC, that's a television term which stands for some type of television standard, which originally you were able to use a computer using a different type of a monitor than either an EGA or CGA or a VGA, and they're not really in demand anymore, and we took that feature out of the system.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, we have no calls holding, and we still have plenty of time to take your calls. So please, we'd like to hear from you. If you've got any questions, make sure you call us right away, and make sure you hold the hold button down while you're calling in. David, while we're waiting for the next call to come in, another question we often get about laptop computers, because they have the 3.5-inch disk drive. Many people buy laptops in conjunction with a tabletop model that they already have that's got a 5.25-inch disk drive on it. What's the best, what are the procedures you need to move software and applications around between your desktop and your laptop computer?
Okay. For new software, all new software comes in either a 3.5 or 5.25-inch variety, so you can order it with new software, get 3.5-inch. For existing software where you do have 5.25-inch disks, you can either use file transfer software such as LapLink or PC Connect to transfer your files from a laptop to a desktop or vice versa. The other thing is, if you have a friend who has both a 3.5 and a 5.25-inch drive, he can do the copying or she can do the copying for you.
Okay. We've got a call holding right now. Caller, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, can you give us your name and your store number, please?
Mark Goodereis, 2360.
Okay, Mark, what's your question?
Okay, the question is, what does the 8287 processor do exactly?
Okay, that's the math coprocessor. David, I'll turn that over to you.
Okay. What the math coprocessor does is designed to work in conjunction with the 8286 processor, and it handles a lot of the numerically intensive calculations, spreadsheets, summing, continually adding, figuring out averages. That all gets parceled out to the 8287, and it speeds that process up. So if you're doing a lot of scientific calculation or a lot of financial calculations, the 8287 coprocessor will allow that to occur at a faster rate.
Okay, also on the modem, does it have two different speeds or two different channel types?
No, the
that it works
modem.
off of?
Okay, the modem is 1200 baud, and that's the only speed on the modem. All right. You do have a choice of picking either between COM1 and COM2, but the modem speed is fixed at 1200 baud.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we have no call holding, and we still have a little time. So if you've got any questions, now's the time to call in. David, while we're waiting for the next caller to come in, another thing that I noticed in the presentation, which I think is very intriguing about the B300, is the fact that you can turn the disk drive, the hard disk drive, on and off. Yeah. Could you explain a little bit about the advantages to that and how that's really uniquely different for most of the hard drive laptops that are available in the marketplace today?
Sure. The hard drive is a mechanical piece, and as with any mechanical piece, it draws power. The more it's on, the more power it's going to draw. Since you're dealing with rechargeable batteries and you're dealing with battery power, you need to conserve your battery power as much as possible. What the hard drive switch allows you to do is turn the hard drive off when you're not using it, and the software switch automatically will turn it off and on when needed. That certainly is a power-saving feature and certainly will extend the battery life on your B300, and it's also something that's not offered by many other laptop manufacturers.
Okay, we do have a call holding now. Caller, can you hear us? Hello, caller?
Yes, I can.
Okay, give us your name and store number, please.
This is Mike Burns at 1430 in Cleveland.
Okay, Mike, what's your question?
We're inquiring about getting the demo kits.
For the Bondwell laptops?
That's correct.
Okay, additional demo diskettes can be gotten by calling area code 312-498-9603. That's 312-498-9603. Ask for Judy Diamond from EHS Industries. They handle the distribution of demo diskettes for the Bondwell Laptop Company. Okay, we've got another call holding. Caller, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, give us your name and store number, please.
Yes, my name is Mike Center. I'm calling from Rockaway, New Jersey, number 1764.
Okay, Mike, what's your question?
Yes, I noticed the cue cards that you were using with the Bondwell laptops that you were pointing to for features comparison. They seem very, very useful. I'm wondering how we could get some of those.
I'll tell you what, that's a very interesting request. We can probably get copies of those made from Bondwell, and what we'll do, since you've shown some interest in that, we can include that in a release, one of the training releases in the boxes that go out with training materials to the stores. I think it's a very good suggestion, and we'll follow up on it. Thank you very much. Okay, I've got another call holding. Please, caller. Can I get your name, please? Are you holding down your button? Button, who's got the button? You got to hold down your button. Hello?
Hello.
Oh, there we go. Can I get your name and store number, please? Hello, can you hear us?
Connie Marble, Quincy, 2360.
Hi, Connie, good. What's your question, please?
We're just calling to see how long the batteries are designed to last.
Okay, David, you want to take that question, please?
On the B200, the batteries are designed to last between 3 and 4 hours. On the BW8T, anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. As the same thing on the B300. Again, battery life depends upon how much you use the backlight, how much you use the hard drive. In the worst case situation, you'd be looking at 2 hours. In the best case situation, you'd be looking at 4 hours. That's why we have the battery monitoring software included and a flashing power light, which will give you an indication of when to recharge and when to back up your files.
What we was also wondering is, what is the life expectancy of the battery?
Life expectancy of the battery, I believe, is somewhere in the neighborhood of 4,000 or 5,000 hours, which is a long time when using a computer, for a couple hours or either a day or even a week.
Okay, thank you very much, David. We've got one more call holding. Caller, can you hear us? Hello, caller?
This is Bruce Brantley from 1034.
Okay, Bruce.
Outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay, Bruce, what's your question?
All right, my question is this. When the 8Ts came through, we got no information as to whether they were convertible to a hard drive. Later on, we received the information that the hard drive unit would be available, and at that time, we ordered approximately 3 of them. They never came. And in the meantime, those customers that we were requesting the computers for asked us if it was possible to convert the 8T with the 20 meg hard drive. Now my question is this: is there a way to convert the 8Ts, because it would seem that other than the 286 processor, there isn't that much difference between the 2 units?
Okay, David, you want to answer that question, please?
Sure. The BW8T only comes configured with 2 720K drives, and technically it cannot be configured with a 20 megabyte hard drive. there are some differences between the BW8T and the B300. The most obvious one is the 8286 microprocessor. It supports a different type of a disk drive, and it is an AT compatible. You cannot have a hard drive on the BW8T, and I think what you were waiting for was the B300, because the B300 is the only Bondwell machine in Sears line that comes with a hard drive. Right. So again, it is not feasible, technically feasible, to put a hard drive in the BW8T, and it cannot be done.
Okay. That's we have had a lot of requests for a laptop with a hard drive, and the answer to that really is the B300, which is available right now in your RRCs. It's just shipped in the last couple of weeks, and it's arriving in the RRCs right now. I know we've had a lot of requests for both hard drive and AT units, and this is really our solution, is the B300. Okay, I've got another call waiting, please. Caller, can you give us your name, please? Hello, caller?
Hello.
Hi, can you give us your name and store number, please?
Bev Nelson from 2082 in Fargo, North Dakota.
Hello, Fargo. What's your question?
We were just wondering where the Bondwells were made.
Okay, David, you want to tell them about...
Sure. Bondwell machines are assembled either in Hong Kong or in Fremont, California. Right? Bondwell does not manufacture the actual disk drive or the processor or the screen itself. We buy our screens from Japan. We buy our processors from the United States. Our hard drives come from the United States. And they are assembled in either Hong Kong or in Fremont, California. Some of the things that are manufactured in Hong Kong are things like the carrying cases, the documentation, the plastic mold, and that type of thing. But again, the quality products that we use come from other parts, and they're assembled either in Hong Kong or in California.
Okay, thank you, David.
Thank you.
Okay, we don't have any calls holding, and we have a couple more minutes to take your call. So this is your chance, to access some real experts here on the computer line. David, while we're waiting for the next call to come in, I had one other question that I wanted to ask. We talked about in the example we have set up here, we've got a laptop set up to a printer and to a monitor. Are there any special cables that you need, like to hook the B300 or any of the other Bondwells up to a printer or to a standard monitor?
Okay. No, Jim. Almost all monitors that are purchased today come with a cable attached to the monitor, and that same cable is just used to plug right into the back of the B300, as well as the printer. Almost all printers do come with cables. However, some retailers don't include the cable with the printer. In that case, any standard parallel printer port will work.
Okay. Okay, well, we're starting to run out of time right now, okay? And what I'd like to do before we take off, I want to show you this. In a direct release that'll go right to your stores in the next couple of weeks, we're going to get a training package on all the Bondwell laptops, okay? This will be arriving in your store with your Sears training package. So be on the lookout for this. This is one of the things, make sure this gets out to the floor and everybody gets a chance to look at it, okay? Right now, I'd like to thank David and Michael for their very wonderful presentations today. And I'd like to leave you with my telephone number, which is area code 312-875-8046, and my email address, which is JOBRIENSHQA. If you have any questions or anything that we weren't able to get back to you on today, the best way to get a hold of me is to have your brand central manager or sales development manager email me the question. It's a lot easier to get a hold of me and most of the other buying staff on email rather than on the phone. Okay? I'd like to thank you once again for your attention here today. And next week, next month on December the 6th, we'll be back on with our last computer SVN of the season. Thank you once again for your attention. Have a wonderful afternoon.